What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction video. Today, we're reacting to some JCS inspired channels. The one we have today is called Terrible Mother Realizes She May Never Go Home. This is by Red Tree Crime. About 24 minutes, so let's hop into it.
On March 10th, 2024, police responded to reports of a non-responsive child in Silver City, New Mexico. When they arrive on scene, they find a small home surrounded by piles of garbage. Inside the home, they find a male and a female sleeping on the floor, and a 7-year-old boy lying on the floor next to them.
Let's go, get up.
Yes, hurry up.
Let's go, hurry up, get up.
I'm going.
You guys need to get out. We got a 10-7.
The police find the body of a 5-year-old girl under one of the parents.
Did y'all smoke the dope?
No.
Fentanyl? What is it?
No, it's not fentanyl.
How old is your sister?
Just turned
10-7. They found the 5-year-old girl body underneath one of the parents. Then he said, y'all smoking dope? Y'all smoke fentanyl? Oxy. Demerol. Demerol will probably be got shot, G. I forget the other name Eminem said. Sorry, lace it, you know.
Yesterday.
She just turned 5?
What did you take?
I don't remember taking anything.
I don't know what it is.
Keep talking. I need to know.
Yeah.
I need to know so that we can help your kids.
The father of the two children, 38-year-old Matthew Banam, claims he doesn't know what drugs he took that caused him to pass out, and then he refuses to talk to the police anymore. The mother, 34-year-old Music Adam, is sent to the hospital, where doctors confirm she is okay.
I've done a lot of drugs in my life, and I've never felt anything like I did last night.
Music claims she has no idea what happened the previous night that led to her passing out. After the doctors tell the police that Music is fine and is allowed to leave the hospital, the police bring her to the local police department and put her into an interrogation room. At this point, Music doesn't know that one of her children is dead.
So the deputies, when they got to the house, they put you in what's called investigative detention. Right? So because of that, I'm going to read you your rights.
What is the biggest likelihood that I'm going to be able to get my kids back?
I can't give any kind of opinion. Okay, and I'm kind of in a position right now where I can't really talk about the case itself without knowing the answer to that question. So my job is to figure out what happened today, and you are someone that can give me information that I obviously wasn't there for.
Yes.
So I'm playing a little bit of catch up. So
I want to know just as much what happened today. We were all super sick last night, and the last thing that we ate was some chocolate cake that I got from my daughter for her birthday party. She had a birthday party at Penny Park from 1 to 4. We left a little bit early.
Oh, this is when they start giving too many details. 1 to 4, and they get when they give but they said she said they say she doesn't know that her daughter's dead yet. But normally when they start giving time frames like 1 to 4 or around 12, they're trying to like paint a picture that I was doing this specific thing at this specific time, so I wasn't doing anything wrong, you know, or something like that.
For her birthday party. She had a birthday party at Penny Park from 1 to 4. We left a little bit early because it was getting really cold. And we got, before the party, we got chocolate cake with white frosting, like rainbow frosting from Albertsons. And that's all that it had on it. And then we got some candles to put on the cake, 5 candles to put on the cake. And I still have those candles in the purse, in my purse, I'm assuming. I do smoke weed and speed, but I had not imbibed any speed.
okay, so just to be clear with speed.
Methamphetamine.
Thank you. I appreciate
I do
that.
not use them regularly. It was just kind of like I wasn't feeling good. It doesn't matter. That's all just excuses. But anyways, I had not used any past like noon 30 at the very latest was the last time that I used it. Yesterday.
Okay.
Yes. Right before heading out to her party.
Okay.
And there was nothing that she could get in the room. The room is extremely messy, and that is true. And we're working on it. We don't have a vehicle right now to even take it to the dump. So it's really,
It's hard.
it is hard.
Crazy hard.
And we had a friend that was letting us use their truck. We done friends and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
And yeah, I've done not recently, but like recently, I've just done weed and speed. And I've done a lot of drugs throughout my life, though. My name is music. My parents named me music, you know. That's the life I grew up in. But, I've never felt like I did last night. It was unreal. Like, I couldn't hold myself up. My daughter and my son couldn't hold themselves up. I had no idea what was going on. I just wanted us to get some sleep, and I thought that that would help. And I don't know. I don't know what it was, but that's why I really, really, really want to see the blood work and stuff, because that was not like anything I've ever experienced.
It's extremely weird, right?
Yes.
Just like that, stuff like that doesn't really happen.
Well, it happened last night, and I don't know how it happened, and I don't know if.
Well, did you get the drugs
I
from
don't have
somebody?
any idea what happened, but I want to know what was in my system, and I want to know how it got to my kids' system, because they did not get in. I'm telling you, and an investigation will have to be done, and that is fine with me. But I know that I do not do fentanyl or heroin. I know that. And so if that's in my system, and if that's in my little girl's system, somebody fucking put it there. Sorry, excuse my language, but I do not
You can speak however you want. You're going through some shit right now. Straight up.
No, I want to speak eloquently because I don't want to
be misconstrued.
I don't want to be misconstrued. I know that a lot of people come through here lying about what they do, and I am not here to lie about what I do. I'm here to figure out what happened to my children, because they are the best thing that ever happened to me. And I'm not the best thing to ever happen to them. But I just want to know they're okay.
So
I want the opportunity to become the best thing for them, and to show them how much I care about them. This is what I was trying to do yesterday, and when we got to the party, there was some other bigger birthday going on, and it's just really hard. It's hard not having a car and living all the way out there, and just trying to desperately get my kids to school on time every day, man.
I'm not the kind of cop that I'm here to catch people up. That's not what I'm about. With what's going on today, my goal is to find out what happened so I can do right by your kids.
Mm-hmm.
That is my only role. That's the only thing I'm after. And it seems like you're really on that page too, which is super helpful, because believe it or not, there are a lot of parents that come through here and otherwise that will do everything to sell their kids out so they get away or whatnot. But that's not what this is, okay? That is not what this is. This is a matter of us having a conversation, trying to figure out what happened.
It was just my little girl's birthday party. That's all it was. We had cake. We didn't have ice cream because it melted. But we had cake, and we had some chips, Doritos, and Ruffles.
So that happens. You guys have some cake. And then later on, it starts getting cold.
It started getting cold, so we headed home. And then Zaki wanted to know if she could have one more slice of cake. And I said sure, and we all had a slice of cake before bed. And that's when things just started to get weird. I don't know if it was like, I never had a sugar high like that. Like,
I
don't know what happened. I don't think it was the cake or anything. I don't know what it was.
What about the heater for the house?
The home that Matthew and Music shared with their two
damn,
children
who was that?
did not have heat or running water. For warmth, they would burn coals inside the home, and the only ventilation was a small gap in a window. The couple had been warned before that they needed to open the windows if they were burning coal to prevent carbon monoxide poisoning.
The heater, we don't have the propane hooked in. We're out of propane.
And the coals? Like the sister had the coals or whatever you were burning in there?
Yeah, it was coals. They were coals. But we burn them all the way to coals so they don't smoke the place out, and then we vent the window. Normally we have a propane heater. And when we have the propane hooked up to the heater that's up against the wall, we still leave it vented, because the kids were, a while back, like when we first moved in, this was over a year ago, my son was waking up, throwing up, and we discovered it's because we had all the windows shut with the propane heater on, so it wasn't ventilating properly, so we started leaving the windows just cracked, and that was enough, and all the throwing up stuff. I don't know if they recorded that or not, but there should have been at least 2 windows cracked in the house. And just, like,
And the
mass
kids, what about the
confusion.
kids?
The kids were fine. The kids were fine all the way up until I woke up in the middle of the night because Zaki was crying and Zai was crying, and they appeared to be asleep. Like they were having night terrors, but like severe night terrors. But they were fine when they laid down to snuggle with me. After we had the cake, everybody was fine. My son put on some YouTube, and everything seemed fine, and I crashed
Okay,
out.
so how can she say everything seemed fine when she said after they had that last size cake was where everything went wrong? How can you say first it went wrong and then say, oh, everything was fine? They laid down with me and, everything was good. Where did it go wrong and what happened?
And then I woke up to my kids, they were crying. And Zaki was kind
About
of
what time was that, do you know?
I don't have any idea, but my husband might know. My husband might know because he came out of the fifth wheel over to the tiny home to see what was going on, to see why everybody was crying, and to lay down with us. And he said he was feeling really crappy, and he was trying to get my son to calm down, and I had Zaki trying to calm her down or like maybe wake her up so that she was not, I wasn't like, I was just being gentle, like rubbing her forehead and stuff, like just trying to get her to wake up, or because she was crying. She was alive, she was crying. And we just couldn't figure out what it was that was making them cry, and my son was curled up in a little ball, and we had no idea what was going on, but eventually they quieted down, and there was just like a little whimper every now and again, but they were okay.
Unconscious.
They were breathing, they were responsive somewhat, like they were...
That's what probably happened. It sounds like they had a reaction to whatever was in their system, and then when they quieted down, that was them being unconscious, not going back to sleep.
Signs, and in hindsight, I should have just called. I should have called right then.
You went to sleep with the kids in the tiny house. Everything was okay at first, and then they started crying. So you're trying to soothe them. You're doing the mom thing. Your husband hears what's going on, so he comes from the white RV into the tiny home, and joins you guys in bed, or what happens now?
Yeah, he laid down next to my son.
Okay.
To try and calm Zai down, because I had both of them, and so he knew that I wasn't feeling well, and so we were both just trying to calm the kids.
What is this person doing with this
ruler? We were trying to figure out why they were crying. Like, are you hurt? We kept asking them, are you hurt? Do you have a bellyache? Can you breathe? And they just were, it was like they were having night terrors. Like, they weren't responding to any, like, if you asked them a question, there was no yes or no. There was just crying, but they were both crying. Like, they were both alive and crying, which doesn't make it okay that...
Hold on, is this a...
Like, they were both alive and crying.
Is this a police officer with white Air Force Ones in this dirty ass house? Hold up, nigga. Do police officers wear this? Is this recreational? Wearing some white Air Force Ones. The shoelaces are dirty. The shoes look decently clean. Those shoelaces are definitely dirty. And I promise you, they're not going to be any cleaner with you in this dirty house on that dirty ass bed. Pretty sure that comforter, whatever you were standing on, was white when it was first bought, and it is now brown or like gray. Buddy, what are you doing here? You off duty and you just pulled up?
I didn't call the EMS, like that makes it worse, I guess, but no.
Did you ever wake up on top of her?
No, that's never happened.
Okay, including last night.
Including last night.
Okay.
Last night, when I woke up, she was in between me and my husband. She was in between us. Like, you could see her face, you could see her whole body, And it was tripping me out, and I kept trying to sit up, but I couldn't. I could not sit up, like, for the same reason I can't. I don't know if you can see this hand right now, but it's super swollen, and I don't have any idea what's going on with it, but it is in a lot of pain But I was trying so hard to sit up. I even told my husband, I was like, push me up. I need to check on Zachy. Like, something's not right. And I just couldn't sit
Why not
up.
tell your
I was
husband to
all
do
right
it? You
there,
couldn't
and I
get
just
set up.
couldn't sit up. I couldn't even sit up to get to the phone. Like,
What made you know that something was wrong? Was it something different than the shivering, whimpering, or was there something else?
she was very still.
Okay.
Is she okay?
Music asks if her daughter is okay, but the detective decides it's best not to tell her what happened, at least not yet. He ignores her question, and he asks her to stay on track and tell him the rest of the story.
I just kept trying to sit up. I
I wouldn't have known how to
help
deflect
because I couldn't get
from
up.
that question.
I could not get up. I could not sit up. Even when the cops came in, they were telling me, get up, and I was like, I'm trying to get up. Like, believe me, I want to get up right now. Like, I couldn't get up. This side of me, it was like something was stabbing me down or something.
And then that's where we got involved. All right, so thank you. I know that's kind of a lot to go through. Okay. Zai, right? Is that your son's name?
Mm-hmm.
Zai. I checked on him at the hospital when I saw you. So from what they're thinking, at that time, things could have changed. He looks like he has a touch of pneumonia.
Okay.
Okay, but I mean, otherwise, he seemed pretty okay. They're treating them. They're going to do what doctors do.
Yeah.
Right, and check him for all sorts of stuff. Zachy, she didn't survive. Sorry.
What did they say happened?
We don't know. We have no idea.
Are they going to do a toxicology on her?
We are going the full 9 yards to figure out what it was that happened.
Please do.
So that's why I wanted to talk to you and Daddy to figure out, because this stuff doesn't really happen, right?
No.
So I'm so sorry to be the one to have to tell you that. You shouldn't have to hear this from someone that you don't even know. But we are going to look into it as deeply as we possibly can to try to get a better answer for what happened.
Can I please see my son?
The deputy that took him to the hospital turned him over to CYFD because we had the death of a child.
Yes. How come they didn't turn him over to his grandparents?
Because that was the decision that he made at that time. It was to give him the CYFD, and then they can do their safety plan and that kind of stuff. I did have a conversation with the worker who did mention grandma. I would assume that's your mom?
Yes.
Okay, so about reaching out to grandma to see if placement with her is going to be appropriate, and after solving what it is that he's got going on, if it's pneumonia or what have you. Because if he has to be hospitalized, well, then obviously he's going to be there for a while.
Yeah.
Parent to parent, I hate that I'm going to ask you this question, but I have to ask out of respect to your daughter.
Yes.
Did you know she was dead?
I didn't know. I wasn't sure, but I did feel like something wasn't right. And so that's when I started calling out. Was just calling out for help. I did not know. I just knew something wasn't right.
Because, I mean, sometimes things happen, right? But that's why we got to look at everything. We got to look at this whole picture.
Please look at everything. Please look at everything, because please look at everything.
100%. Like I said.
Every time I keep seeing the face on this great screen, it makes me think of does that not look like the same person? Like a little bit? Maybe it's just me.
I'm not the kind of cop that's I'm here to catch anybody up. That's not what this is. Okay? What this is a matter of trying to figure out what happened. Because right now it's a mystery. Nobody knows. No one knows what happened. I did try to talk to your husband. He refused to make a statement to me. So I couldn't speak to him about it to get more information.
Does he know?
Yeah, he knows. I told him. But we are going to look at it at every angle we possibly can. Okay? So I have to look at it a lot of different ways. Obviously, I got to look at it in the role of a cop, right?
Yeah.
Gathering evidence, blah, 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 blah.
I just want to know what happened. I want to know what happened.
And then we'll have a team of medical professionals that are gonna examine your daughter and do everything that they can possibly do to figure out what it was that happened to her that caused this to happen.
The examination into her daughter's death would show that she died from carbon monoxide poisoning. Additionally,
It was the
tests done on
coal.
her son would show that he had been exposed to methamphetamine.
So now, knowing what you know, is there anything that stands out to you that you think I should be aware of as something of
So the son had speed in his system, and the daughter died due to the coal, the carbon monoxide that they were talking about. That they had to like vent the window, to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning.
for consideration?
I just thought it was bizarre how. It was bizarre how sloppy we all were. It just was weird. It was weird. I just should have called. I should have called when she was crying and was asleep. I should have rolled out of that house. I would have. When she pees herself, which she doesn't do all the time, but when she does get her pants wet in the middle of the night, she frequently will take her pants off, but she usually puts fresh panties on, or she wakes me up and asks me to get her some pants. But I don't know that I would have been wakeable at that time, but I do know that she's been known to do that when she pees the bed. But she doesn't pee the bed a whole lot. She's been getting a lot better because we've been making sure to make her use the body. Before bed. But last night we didn't do that. We just ate cake and...
I have another hard question.
Yeah.
And again, I hate to ask, but I gotta ask it. Sometimes when kids cry at night, it's extremely difficult to deal with.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah.
I just wanted to soothe them. Like, I did not. There was no shaking or any violence.
So
I
I have to ask the question.
I understand that.
Did you do anything that would have caused her to die?
No, I did not. I snuggled with her and I was rubbing on her forehead like this to try because that helps soothe her sometimes.
Wait, I'm confused though. If they know about the coal and know she died of monoxide poisoning, maybe they don't know at this moment in time. I think that was what he said. Okay, so I guess yeah, they sort of trying to figure out the details to find out if it was something else. Because I guess they don't know actually how she died yet. Maybe I'm wrong.
She got in frozen, and the mom was like this to the daughter, and that's what I was doing because it helps to soothe her sometimes. She's never had night terrors like that, but sometimes when she's having a hard time going to sleep, that's what I do, and it helps her to get to sleep. But I just snuggled with her. I just held her, and not like tight, like how I usually snuggle with her, how I've snuggled with her the last 5 years of her life.
Any reason to believe that your husband could have hurt your kids?
No. My husband and I, he's been violent a little bit towards me, but never the kids. He's never, not even close. And it's always, a lot of times he's violent towards me because he doesn't feel like I'm doing right by the kids. So I'm not saying that's right or wrong or anything, but he would never hurt the kids. Even if they were being frustrating with the night terrors, like, he came in to help, and I don't believe that my husband would hurt the kids. I've seen him in rages, and he's never hurt the kids, in blind rages.
Okay.
So.
One of those things I have to ask, you know.
No, I feel you, and I know you're going to have to investigate, and...
There's always something else that someone could have done. Always. Even if you had done something perfectly, you look back at it and there was something else that you could have improved on. That's just the way it is. But this is where you're at now. What's really important is how you choose to move forward.
Does I know his sister's dead?
I don't know that for sure.
So the title says Terrible mother realized she would never go home. Is the husband not going home either? Like, is she being held at fault for the carbon monoxide poisoning and not venting the window?
I believe CYFD may have told him that, but I couldn't tell you definitively yes or no. I would assume before long he'll know, if he's going to wonder where you guys are at and what's happening type of situation. But he was sleeping when I saw him.
How does this go from here?
So what's going to happen right now is that, like I said, how I told you we treat everything like a homicide.
Yeah.
So what's happening right now is I'm working on a search warrant for your property. Considering that we had a death there, we're going to look at everything that we possibly can to see if we can find a root source of this is our smoking gun, right? So this is what caused that, or this could have helped this issue develop and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to look at that kind of stuff. So I got to investigate it kind of criminally on that side until we know otherwise that it's not, which at the same time, we're going to have medical professionals do their thing and try to solve it on a medical standpoint, of regardless of circumstances and whatever, what does the science tell us, right? And then we're going to have to come together with that and see where that puts us. Okay. Do you have any other questions?
Is the doll that significant, lady? Did you have to hold it?
So they have grandparents in Florida, which I know is a ways away, and they have grandparents here, and they have grandparents in El Paso, and just I don't want to see them in the system because I know people that were broken in the system.
Yeah,
And
3 sets of grandparents in 3 different places.
And I know that you can try to do all you want, but they were with me when this happened, you know, so it's really hard for me to trust the system. But I can trust my grandma, my mom, and I can trust these people, and I know that they will do right by my children.
Well, I can't speak to their process. They have the legal right to make whatever decision that they need to make. So I'm kind of not involved in that one. They'll kind of tell me, hey, this is what we did after all because of X, Y, Z or whatever. But I will be in communication with them to, we all try to work together to try to solve the problem. So we all kind of look at it in a different way. They look at the social side of it. The doctors do the medical side of it. I do criminal side of it. And then we come together and find where's that middle ground, and that's the most appropriate thing to do. I'm sure you probably don't want to be here anymore.
I don't want to be in jail either.
Well,
but I just want to be. I just wanted to be last night again. I just wanted to be last night again, and I want to be holding my boy.
As of the making of this video, neither parent has been convicted of any charges related to the death of their child. Matthew and Music are both facing first-degree felony charges of child abuse resulting in death. If found guilty, the maximum sentence they both could be looking at is life in prison. What are your thoughts on this case? What should their punishments be? Please share your thoughts in the comments below.
Okay, hold on. Where's comments? I don't know how to feel about this, because on one hand, she seemed genuine, like she really didn't know what happened to the kid, or no, because when she was telling the story, she was like, "Yeah, the daughter was face down. I like knew something was up." So it felt like she knew her daughter was possibly dead. She wasn't really worried about the son being alive. She felt like she knew the son was alive. I mean, they're just two drug addicts. That's it. I mean, yeah, I'd say a terrible mother, but most drug addicts don't even care about their kids. She at least seemed like she cared, you know? Even to some extent. Oh, that's a... Damn. Is there any update on this case? Children Youth Family Department, State Agency in New Mexico responsible for child protection service. One of the comments did say something like, they knew about the conditions they were living in or something.
I'm coming down.
So, I'm fucking bitch, I didn't even do that. Reload the thing. Oh my god, bro. Just load. Okay, whatever, we'll shoot this. 5-year-old was found dead, carving outside clothing in New Mexico. CYFD also failed to intervene despite multiple investigations looking into claims of child neglect of her and her brother. A recent lawsuit alleges. Jacqueline Bynum had been dead for some time, and she was on the March 24th, day after celebrating her 5th birthday in her family's tiny single-room home. Described by authorities as a shack. According to the lawsuit filed last week in State District Court in Santa Fe by wrongful death estate of Jacqueline. I'm sorry, I'm just say X. Guardian ad litem of her brother. X and her brother were both found to have methamphetamine in their systems. Discovery came after 5 investigations by CYFD workers into the family, including one that sustained allegations of neglect. In each case, though, the department failed to intervene, ultimately leading to X's death. The suit alleges CYFD is named as a defendant. Damn. Okay, this is it. Unspoken word stories, DFS and CPS, child protection service, I don't know what DFS is, have been involved at some point where they were aware of conditions of child living. The government is often complacent, if not allowed complicit in cases like these, and rarely, if ever, does anyone ever acknowledge it. Agency is completely unchecked. The abuses of power too numerous to even count. Plans is often... Oh, attorney Sarah. said in an interview, it's just over and over again, it has to be stopped. CYFD spokesperson Jessica Preston declined to answer multiple questions about the case Wednesday, including the actions taken about the age leave following the findings that X and her brother were in an unsafe environment, the current location of her brother, and whether the children have been removed from their family home. Not found on pending litigation. Pledges in the case for seeking damages, attorney fees, and costs. Rika and the law said the lawsuit is about seeking justice for X, who death she said could have been prevented, and about holding CYFD accountable. Damn. So basically, your job is basically child protection services, and you knew she was in an unsafe or unfit environment, and you should have gotten the kids out of there. But they said it was a few investigations, right? Multiple investigations. You left the kid there, and then one day the kid dies, and you think you're just gonna get away? Yeah. I don't think they're. I mean, like I said, this case is weird. I don't know how to feel about it. At least the boy's alive. At least the son is alive. And hopefully going with the grandma or one of the grandparents. Multiple sets of grandparents he has in different states. Hey, listen. Appreciate you guys for watching this uncomfortable case. Kind of eerie. Until then, I'm gonna see you in the next video. Take care. And peace.